First, we have to start off by installing R, and this is normally a two-step process. So first we have to download the actual base R software, and then normally we're going to use some type of interface, so we have to download that as well. So first we're going to start off by downloading R, and we have to go to this rproject.org link. So if you click on this link, it'll navigate to this page here where it has a bunch of news about R. We're mostly concerned with this left section here that says download CRAN. So we're going to click on that CRAN link. And there's a bunch of links here, so just all you have to do is pick the one that's closest to you. And in my case, I live in Hong Kong currently, so I'm going to use this COD in Hong Kong link. So I'm going to click on that. And then once I get there, I'm just going to download the one that's appropriate for the operating system I'm using. So because I'm using Windows, I'm going to use download R for Windows. And then from there, you're just going to click on this base subdirectory. So I'm going to click on this install R for the first time. So I'll click on that. And the last link you have to click here is this download R 4.4.1 for Windows. So I'm going to click on that. So it'll take some time to do that. And on my end, I'm actually going to open it here. So I'm going to double click on the execute file here. And then it'll usually prompt you to download based off of which language that you want. So in my case, I'm going to pick English. And then normally what I recommend is that you select all of the defaults here. So typically it just works better if you use all the defaults. So say for example you set this to a different file path or a different directory. It can sometimes cause issues from my experience. So it's better just to start off with the defaults if possible. So that's all I'm going to do here. I'm just going to click next on everything. So I'm going to hit next and next. It's just going to say to install this because I've already done this before. And then I'm going to hit next again. And then next, and then next. And so it'll install for a while, and I'm going to cancel that just because it takes some time. So I'm going to open R from my side just to show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. It's not all that impressive. It's just a script language here. It's very, very basic. But this can work if you decide to use it like this in its current form. So let's say I just use code that you learn in pretty much every coding course. It's print hello world. So if I type out print, and then all quotes, hello world, and then run that with enter, it'll just give me a character string back that says hello world. So that works, but it's not all that impressive, and normally we're going to be doing things that are much more sophisticated with R. So I'm going to show you other ways to use R. So I'm going to show you actually two alternatives to this. The first is R Commander, and it's kind of like a basic drop-down version of R. So in order to use that, we have to install it first. So we're going to use this install.packages, and then in quotation or in parentheses, we're going to put in quotation capital R CMDR, and then just close that string and that parentheses. So if I run that, it should tell me where I should be selecting from. So I'm going to go to Hong Kong here and hit OK. And so then it will just take a brief amount of time to download the package itself. And then once you get there, now all you have to do is just load this R Commander. So I'm going to write library, and then RCMDR, and then parentheses again. So if I hit enter, it should take a second to open R Commander within R here. So once you're there, you can see it's got this kind of basic drop-down interface. So if I want, for example, I can just import some data here by going to this Data in Packages tab here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this Read Dataset from Attached Packages. So I'm actually going to go and use this Datasets here, double-click it, and I'm going to just select one from random. So I'm going to use this orange, and then hit OK. And so it produces this code here saying, okay, we used R code to load this data, and then if I want to get some statistics about this orange data, I can click on statistics and then you go to summaries and then use it on this active data set, and it just produces this very basic summary statistics. So R Commander can be quite useful in this respect because it's similar to programs like SPSS or Jamovi where it uses this drop-down interface. But I find RStudio is a much more useful program, at least for my purposes, basically because it's very flexible and it teaches you to code from the very ground up. So from this point on in the course, we're going to be using RStudio. So first I have to show you how to download that. So first we're going to go to this RStudio desktop link. So if you just Google download RStudio, it should be the first link that pops up. It's this posit download RStudio desktop link. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, there are these two sections here. We're going to click on this right section here where it allows us to install RStudio. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm just going to open the executable file from my side. So I'm going to open that from here. And then we're just going to select the defaults as usual. So I'm going to click next and next. And then it's going to ask me to install, but that will take a long time. So I'm just going to cancel from here. And I'm going to go ahead and open RStudio with this icon here. And then once you boot that up, there should be these four sections here. This script on the top left, this environment on the top right, this kind of generic catch-all section on the bottom right, and then the console here. So I'm going to go into a little bit about what all those do in the next lesson, so I'll see you there.